Bore da pawb. This is our second assembly and our final assembly on hope. Our value of this month, May, is hope. And hope is that little voice that you hear whisper maybe when it seems that the entire world is shouting no. So I thought I would read you another extract from the Book of Hopes by Katherine Rundell. This time it's a poem and it's been written by the Radio 1 DJ Greg James and his friend Chris Smith. And it's about an animal, not a hippopotamus, but a hopopotamus. And it goes something like this. In a drought in the dust, in a dry riverbed, a sad hippopotamus hung his grey head. He'd had nothing to drink since the start of this week. If he didn't find water, things could get quite bleak. The hippo was sad, and the hippo was hot. But did he sit down and give in? Of course not. He remembered the words of a wise old giraffe that he'd heard long ago when he'd been a young calf. There'll be times in your life when your road will be tough. You'll be tempted to say that you've had quite enough. There'll be people that try and convince you to stop, and you'll feel that you're just about ready to drop. But those are the times when you've got to keep moving, and with every small step you will see things improving. Just point any way that seems hopeful to you. You move 1 foot forwards, then foot number 2. Then follow this up with your other 2 feet. Then return to foot 1 and repeat and repeat. Remember these words, said the wise old giraffe to our hero the hippo when he was a calf. So the hippopotamus nodded his head. I'll keep plodding and see where I get to, he said. And he looked all around at the arid terrain and he thought, will I ever find water again? Ahead, a high mountain rose up in the distance. It looked rocky and steep, but with hippo persistence, he decided he'd walk till he had overcome it, in case there were better things over the summit. First he came to a desert, which wasn't too handy. It was hard to walk through, rather slippy and sandy. A camel was sitting on top of a dune, and he told the hippo, you absolute loon, turn around, go back, or you'll look like a chump. There's no water this way, except this in my hump. But the hippo shook his head. Just a bit further, he boldly said. 1 step at a time, he continued his journey, till he came to a jungle, dark, dank, green and ferny. The jungle was thick, and the creepers were creepy, and a large sloth hung down from a branch looking sleepy. This forest, it goes on for miles, he said, yawning. Why don't you just hang here with me till morning? The hippo, though tempted, again shook his head. Just a little bit further, he bravely said. He plunged on through the jungle, and after a while he arrived at the mountain, the ultimate trial. Poor hippo was tired, almost giving up hope, but 1 step at a time, he pushed on up the slope. The mountain was rocky and strewn with huge boulders. The stones hurt his feet and the sun scorched his shoulders. A lion sat there on the rocky outcropping, and the lion called out, you're much better off stopping. But the hippopotamus shook his head. Just a bit further, he proudly said. His heart was so heavy and his feet were so sore, but he climbed and he climbed, 1 step, then 1 step more. And just when he was feeling ready to drop and finally realised that he'd reached the top, a splendid sight met his eyes when he looked down. A wide, muddy waterhole, gleaming and brown. He could see lots of sploshing. Someone was there bathing, a hippo, a friend, and they seemed to be waving. And the hippopotamus nodded his head. I'm glad that I chose to keep going, he said. Then a voice from behind him called out, we were wrong. The lion, the sloth and the camel were following along. And the animals cried, you're more brave than the lot of us. Hip, hip, hooray for the hopopotamus. And that's a really great lesson, isn't it? Don't give up. Things are often really hard, but keep on trying. Just those one little steps, one in front of the other, and you'll soon get there. Remember the rainbow, the symbol of hope from God. And I hope that you all have lots of hopes. I hope that your families and all of you are really well at the moment. I hope that you're enjoying being at home and enjoying working really hard. I've seen some lovely work from you all. You're doing amazingly well. Well done. And I hope that you're helping mums and dads at home and anybody else that's there with you. And also we hope to see you all very soon. And hopefully you've seen that from the lovely staff video that we've sent out to you all only last week. So all I would like to say now really is thank you for your amazing work that you've been doing with all of the mazes that I sent you. They are fantastic and I've loved looking at them all. And hopefully I shall see you all very soon. We're going to finish off with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. I hope you've all had a really lovely half term and a great break enjoying the sunshine. I hope to see you all very soon. Take care. We all miss you loads. And look out for next month's value.